and welcome to another edition of Burning Questions. Whether you're watching in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, we're here for hip pocket workwear and safety. I'll get to that in a moment, but we have a brand new special guest. It looks like it's sort of a cabin type atmosphere you've got going there, Geoff Webster. How are you today?
Yeah, pretty warm. I'm inside with the heater going, and yeah, all good.
I'll get back to you in a moment because I've got something for you as well. But before that, Andy Gathers, I welcome you in. I'm not sure you've read the T's and C's of your contract. It's an exclusive contract with Burning Questions. Yet you've gone off road and had a chat with Tim O'Connor prior to our Thursday powwow. Are you aware that this is a first warning situation for you? Do you understand?
Yeah, I didn't have the questions before Tim asked me questions about Majestuoso, so I apologise for that. It won't happen again.
Better bloody not. Geoff, I'll get to Skeeter in a moment, but I went over to the IGA across the road the other day. I've been to the butcher, I've been to the baker, I've been to the candlestick maker, and I've told them, Geoff Webster's told me that Belmont Royale is a better horse than Tupper. Everyone knows. I go down the street, I sometimes sing it. I'm not 100% sure anymore. Are you still sure?
No, I'm not sure anymore either, so I wouldn't be going down the shop too many more times.
I mean, people know that I do fib sometimes, but now I'm renowned as a liar because I've told everyone this supposed fact. Anyway, Skeeter, how are you today?
Going well, thanks, Bon. Another not so sunny day, but looking forward to some good questions that you've put together for us.
It's basically the middle of summer compared to yesterday. Yesterday was apocalyptic. I thought it was all over for all of us. I was going to ring everyone and say goodbye. It's been fantastic knowing you all. We're celebrating Burning Questions with hip pocket workwear and safety, and they want you to celebrate as well, and they want your staff to look their very best. You do that with uniforms from Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. They have you covered for clothing, protective equipment, and plenty more. Check out hippocketworkwear.com.au. First of the Burning Questions. We're going to do best bets later. I might already know Jeff's, and it might have to do with this. But okay, we'll go to Andy first. Has the gap between our rising trotters now compressed, or will Majestuoso make us understand he's the best? Now, you've already gone off-road and probably discussed this already, but let's discuss it here on Burning Questions, Andrew.
Yeah, obviously, he's first up, and someone's already written or tweeted how good he is first up. So we're expecting that he's going to be pretty close to his best. His work's been pretty good. It's been more than good in his last fortnight. So, his last 5 starts, four wins, 4 of them being Group 1 races. Back road draws, never easy, but we expect that he's going to be pretty hard to beat. And, there's plenty of good young trotters coming through. Ultimate Stride, obviously, one that's sort of been away from the racetrack for a long time, but starting to find its juvenile form. So no race is easy, but I'm still suspect that he'd be good enough to get the job done.
That same very sharp mind that has written and tweeted about that first up form from Majestuoso, and he is a very sharp mind, also talked about the fact that maybe he's just a level above these. Now, we know Ultimate Stride and Mufasa Metro have been beating these horses comfortably, but Majestuoso's different gravy, isn't he?
Oh, at this stage, I think he is. Again, there's some good young coming through, and it's not going to be easy going forward, but achieved so far is a lot more than what his competition has achieved, to my mind.
Should we be even more confident backing your horses when they don't trial? My answer is yes.
Yeah, well, they can only trial poorly, a bit like Jan Bucky, and that's why he's not there.
What do you reckon, Geoff? It's a good race, but Majestuoso, he's first up from a break, but he's a star, and I think he's going to stamp his imprimatur again in the Lennon Trotters free-for-all on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a big gap, Jason. There are a couple of nice trotters going around, but they're not in the same class as him. And with the break and coming back as he has, each preparation he's got better. I just see he's a horse that's just going to get better as he, continues on, and he's the right man to have him.
Skeeter, I think the even better news, we already know Majestuoso was the number 1 ranked trotter in the land, but the even better news is Chizzy's likely to lead here, I reckon, and I don't think there's going to be any lead for Ultimate Stride because Chizzy's only ever been beaten once in front. I think this plays even more into Madge's hands.
Yeah, it does look that way, Bon, and for some reason he just keeps getting underestimated, doesn't he? We saw him pop up second favourite here in this race, and have a look at his 3 of his past last wins have been a Great Southern Star, a Grand Prix, and a Night Pistol. So it's we know he's the benchmark. I think he remains the benchmark. Obviously, Ultimate Stride has more improvement to come and was really good last time out, but Majestuoso has been there and done that. So clearly still the benchmark for mine and looks really, really hard to beat first up this weekend.
With all due respect, well, there's no respect here. Some of these traders, I don't think they were ducks of their class in year 12 necessarily. I don't know how he came up at $2.90. Are you going to tell us what sort of price you or maybe some of your friends got, Andrew?
Probably they put up 310, but I did when I looked, he was about 220, and I think he's into $1.75 now, which is probably close to his right price.
310, eh? Wait,
Yep.
Let me miss that. Question 2 of the Burning Questions is brought to you by the Fresh Connection. They export fresh fruit from Australia to other countries, more than 35 of them. Damien Glengarry's killing it as the export manager. The Fresh Connection specialise in citrus, table grapes, cherries and mangoes, freshconnection.com.au. And Jeffrey, we love to ask all of our new guests on Burning Questions what their favourite fruit is. You look like a mango man to me. What is your favourite fruit?
No, I wouldn't go mango. No, I know I'd probably, I like nectarines. I'm a big fan of a nectarine. Or a nectarine, we say over here, I think, is it?
Do you call them nectarines in South Australia?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's another country over there, isn't it? Nectarines. I don't think nobody has labelled nectarines or nectarines as their favourite fruit. So great to have a new fruit on the list of favourites.
There you go.
Of the two returning guns that start the Melton Quad, is the Do's Advantage lethal from his Bettor draw, Skeeter? Yeah, and Buckingham would have made things interesting at the start, I think, if he was there. Now they're drawn right next door to each other. Rock and Roll Do does look the one, but I was also impressed with the way Pat's Peachstorm trialled.
Yeah, look, on paper you would say that, yes, it is a big advantage. But in saying that, we haven't actually seen all that much gate speed from Rock and Roll Do. He's never really been asked out of the gates. And I think that's a combination of bad draws that he has had recently, and also education. Mick Stanley, we know, was getting him to go back and settle during races, especially when he was racing the best 3-year-olds last season. So it's not like he has explosive gate speed. So I don't think it's an absolute massive advantage for him. And Pat's Beachstorm, I think he's trialling like he's something like the old Pat's Beachstorm that won the New South Wales Derby. I think he just looks like he could be back this campaign potentially. So I'm with Rock and Roll Do. I think just that inside advantage is going to aid him. I think he can be forward enough early that he doesn't get crossed by Pat's Beachstorm, but I don't think it's as big as of advantage as it first may appear on paper.
I love the way you play devil's advocate and made the case for why it's not a huge advantage, and then you're still with Rock and Roll Do. I think we all will be. Jeffrey, he's a really good horse. So's Pat's Beachstorm. They're Group 1 and Group 2 winners. We always talk about how hard it is to win fresh at Metropolitan level, but they should dominate, and will Rock and Roll Do just be winning the race?
I'm not sure about that. He's been out of the draw a few times. Nathan, he can get a horse off a gate. So I mean, if he leads, he wins. He just leads and wins. But I think them, like puppets drawn inside them, he might come out as well for a little bit, and then he'll hand up. But I think Nathan's a good chance of crossing him.
Give us. I love to talk percentages here, Jeffrey. What chance is Nathan of getting across?
I reckon 50-50.
Right. I better have a look at that. What do you again? I'll be putting them both in. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm a little bit with Jeffrey. Rock and Roll Do has had a history of galloping out a couple of times throughout its career, and just depends. Sometimes he can go a little bit rough going up to the gate. Obviously, if he finds his stride right, and he's probably quick enough to hold Pat's Beachstorm, but there's that little question mark over him. And as Geoff said, Nathan can get him out the gate really quick, and Nathan probably be aware that Rock and Roll Do can do a few things wrong. So he's really going to ask him early whether he's going to go rough or not. So it probably all gets down to who leads. As we know, Pat's Beachstorm, he was trialling well last time in, but still didn't bring it to the races. I just like to see him do it at the races before I put my hand up and say that he's back to his. Again, I'm a bit like Skeeter. We're still going to lean with Rock and Roll Do.
Are you parked at a different location today, or are you in your traditional spot?
I'm in my traditional spot, but I'm in Kate's car.
It just seemed you look a little compressed there, I've got to say. And if you just tuck your jumper in a little bit, it could say Gath. Just get rid of the N, and it's just got a GAT, and we'll just pretend I like it. You've done a lot of good branding in the past. the team there, and that might be a new jump, but I don't know if you can take that simple. Question 3 of the burning questions today, brought to you by APG. Go to apgold.com.au. This is the hardest one, I reckon, Geoff, and as the newbie, as the rookie to the burning questions, I'll go to you first. Can or can't Top This begin with all the speed he needs to find the top in fast class pace and make his rivals bleed? I don't know why I was rhyming with these. I must have been in a poetic mood, but it's a most interesting race, this one.
Yeah, I don't think that was the best way of describing how to set this up. But anyway, you got it out eventually. But
Jeff's no, he's back. He's back. No, Jeff's back. He's we've just lost you for a moment there while you were insulting me, Geoff. But now that we're back, lots of things can happen in this race. What do you think will happen?
Can't Top This. It's not that quick. He comes out very strong, but not over the top. And I thought Aussie Battler was a real good chance of crossing him as well. It's the old story at Melton. If you're in front, you're halfway home. But there's a little hope. But he should be able to hold up, and then if he does that, well, he should be winning as well.
So do we reckon that Sicario is going to come out at the start?
Yeah.
He didn't last time, but we know he's got good gate speed.
Yeah, well, he's another one there that might put the pressure on early too, because there is a little bit of doubt about can't top this as gate speed.
What do you reckon, Andy? Like I'm going to go to Skeeter last because I'm pretty sure we think differently about this. I don't think he has got the gate speed to get there initially, but it will depend on what those outside of him want to do, because we see this regularly, stacks of gate speed off a front row and everyone concedes at the start. So that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, well, definitely Aussie Battler's going to go forward. We know that. And I think Sicario will chance his hand too. Sicario and Aussie Battler in the past have handed up at times. So if they do find the top, Can't Top This might be able to get the lead off them. He did get the lead off a horse that doesn't hand up last week too. So yeah, he's probably developing gate speed as he's sort of had a bit more racing. And it's a big step up in class. It's not the most brutal race ever, but again, it's a step up in class. We Can't Top This. I don't think he initially can lead, but he just might be quick enough to have his legs there and hold them out, or he might get the lead off the other ones that do cross him early.
What first quarter or first half do we need for my top tip in this race? Little fella named Tango Tara to win, Andy.
Yeah, I like to see the low 27s. He's got a nice score and he seems very well. He's getting this race with the conditions on it. So, again, if they don't break 28, it's probably hard for him to win, but hopefully they can break 28 out the gate and brings him right into the race.
Do you think Aussie Battler will only chance his hand, or will he go with his whole arm? Up to the elbow?
Yeah, no, I think it will be all or nothing for Aussie Battler. If he gets on the fence, he generally earns money. If he's off the fence, he generally doesn't earn any.
Andy was abusing me before we got on air, and I said, "You're just setting yourself up. I will pounce on any error." Skeeter, you think Can't Top This will lead? So, are you saying that Can't Top This has got the gate speed to hold rivals wide, even if they come out, or are you expecting that maybe a couple of them won't come out?
I think he can begin quick enough. Look, I think there is a real chance that Aussie Battler can probably get across, but I think he can also, he's not a slow beginner, Can't Top This. So I think he can muster enough to push forward. I think he will be able to get across Dennis William quite comfortably. But if he does look like he's going to be crossed by a horse like Aussie Battler, I think Mark will just stay outside and then try and work to the front eventually. Let Aussie Battler go if it's clear he's going to cross him easily, and then try and get the top from there. So probably the question mark is the 17-20. Does Aussie Battler hand up over the short course? We have seen him hold it before. So I think they'll be trying to get to the front, and I think one way or another, Can't Top This can get to the front. And from there, I think he will take some beating. We have seen previously he can run some time. So as we know, it just makes it impossible for some horses then to get into it. So they won't want to overdo it early, but I think he can begin well enough that he can eventually find the top.
How close to the mark is Tango Tara? He hasn't trialled, so he must be absolutely flying, Andy.
There's only one reason he didn't trial. Someone forgot to nominate him for the trial, so I would have preferred he had a trial, but he's been working quite good for the last couple of weeks.
That hurts. He'll swamp him, I reckon, Tango Tara, even though... Who forgot? Was that you, Andy?
Yeah, someone late night from Cranbourne, as you realise.
Yeah, I certainly do. Question 4, the last of our burning questions, is with thanks to Felbo Fruit, specialists in table grapes. not nectarines, but table grapes since the 1960s. Michael and Josie Felvo are keeping the tradition going, and everyone loves their grapes. Keep an eye out for Felvo fruits. You know you'll love them. Final question, and I'm really reticent to say this because Geoff has really laid down the law to me. I'm going to have to tighten these up a little bit. Bettor Isolate and Locksley Lover seem like freaks, but will their gifts translate to triumph at Tabcorp this week, Skeeter?
I think so. They're obviously both different horses, as we know, but pretty exciting, and both have a lot of X factor about them. Bettor Isolate, we know he has all sorts of speed. Wide draw makes it a little bit more difficult. Does Maddie go forward or back this week and drive him with one run and use that speed that he has? So, there's a little bit of a challenge from there, but there's just something about him. He's just kept doing it and been super impressive. So it gets harder from here, but I think he can win. And Locksley Lover, as we know, is just so exciting. The times that he has been able to run lately and how he has been able to win and keep getting the job done has just been mind-blowing, really. So I love watching him. He's super exciting, and I think Beck will be happy just to work forward, and even if she's got to sit parked, try and control the race from there, and I think he's going to be awfully hard to beat as well.
You're looking a lot better, by the way, Skid. I was actually planning your funeral on Monday when you came in. You had the influenza that almost ended Andy Gath's life as well, but you've bounced back quite well.
Yes, much better this back end of this week, Bon.
Sorry, Andy?
The Carlton loss. It wasn't a flu.
Jeffrey, you've got a hand to play in both of these races. Belmont Royale, who the grocery man at IGA thinks is going to be Lazarus, and Bromwich in race 4. What are they going to do? Belmont Royale is ticking along nicely without being able to win. Bromwich is a really nice horse. Has he got the gate speed to be able to go forward and find the front here, or is all cashed up likely to be a bit too quick for him?
No, I think he's quick enough to hold. He seems to be a bit more safer now, and he's got reasonably good gate speed, so I'd expect him to be pushing forward. And Beck's horse, we know it. It can go rough early and all that sort of thing, so it'll take a while for it to settle down. So if we find the top, I don't think we'll be sort of giving it away.
Very hard to beat then, Bromwich. I know you've got a good opinion of him. And Belmont Royale, are you sort of, if Bettor Isolate comes out as quick as it can, I guess everyone's in a bit of bother.
I think so, yeah. And there's looking at that front row, there's not a lot of real good speed there. So I'd expect that Maddie might find the top. But the same thing again, if I can get Ants to chase mine out, we might be able to hold him out for a little bit. But I think Maddie will find the front.
I might as well take this opportunity to ask about Tuppence from the wide draw in race 6 as well.
Yeah, it's up to Puppet, but he's going really well. Probably going better than Belmont Royale at this stage, but anyway. So I think he might have to come forward as well. It's only a short race, so there's a good chance he'll push forward. He's
typically quite conservative, the Puppet, so you might have to give him the instructions, Geoff, or he won't know what to do. He'll just go straight back at the start. Andy, your thoughts on Bettor Isolate and Locksley Lover?
Yeah, Bettor Isolate, he's only had the 9 starts, but he's shown this, obviously had a bit of a setback, and he's come back terrific. He's got terrific gate speed. It's a big step up in class, but I think he'll use that gate speed to be able to find the top, and I reckon he'll get the job done again. And Locksley Lover, from the moment he raced, he's always shown he's got great ability. John and Beck have done a terrific job with him and nurtured him and haven't sort of rushed him. And I think he's going to be a trotter of the future. It's going to be a lot of competition for me going forward, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get the job done too. So I think they'll both win, and they're both going to be exciting horses going forward.
I think we've got Jeff's answer. The Bettor Isolate is the better of the 2 chances. If you could only have your last on one of the 2 on Saturday night, Andy, who would it be?
Locksley Lover.
Skeeter?
Locksley Lover.
Bettor Isolate for me. Great to be in my own little camp here, in my own little cave. Best bets now. We would like, and we'll start with you, Geoffrey Webster.
Well, I'm going to have an all up. I'm going Treachery all up Majestuoso.
I like that. Treachery just for a little bit of sugar on top. He said Majestuoso off air, but he said, I'll take that $1.20, $1.30 we might get about Treachery. It can't possibly. Yeah. It would take a natural disaster for it to get beaten, I would have thought. Mine's Majestuoso as well, but you know what? I love Geoffrey Webster. I'm going to go with him. We're going to put $2,500 in each on this little all up on Treachery and Majestuoso. Skeeter, you are on a hot streak. Who have you found?
Yes, I'm going with Locksley Lover this week, Bon. Yeah, like I said, I think he's just so exciting and he can get the job done. And another thing that is exciting, we've got a competition which I know you're waiting to announce as well. So someone's going to win a couple of tickets for watching Burning Questions, and you've made them wait through the whole thing, which I like.
If they don't wait till the end, they don't deserve the tickets. End of. Andy, best bet.
Well, I'm going with the best judge there is in harness racing. That's with you, Jay Bond. I'm going with Majestuoso.
I thought you were going to say me, but I really, I got a little scratchy there for a moment. Before we say goodbye to the team here, Skeeter, thanks for the segue. So here's the question you've got to answer if you want 2 Medallion Club tickets to a couple of pets, the Cats versus the Dogs, both going pretty well this year, the Western Bulldogs and Geelong. This is your query. Which 5 horses, don't answer, which 5 horses have won back-to-back Victorian Horse of the Year awards? You've got to email your answers to Adrian. That is A. Canatelli at hrv.org.au. A. Canatelli. Do you want to spell Canatelli for them, please, Skeeter?
Sure. So it's ACANNATELLI at hrv.org.au.
See, I knew you didn't want me to win because it says ACE Canatelli here, just so I couldn't win. Unbelievable. I don't know why people have to do this to me. This has been another great edition of Burning Questions. Jeffrey, very much appreciate your time. I'm glad you're warm there in the cabin. Go and get yourself a nectarine and a cup of coffee, and very much enjoyed your influence.
Thanks very much, brother.
Good on you, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
Keep branding up those jumpers, and well done, Skeeter. Get to work.
Thanks, Bon. Will do.
God bless all, and thank you for watching Burning Questions. Hopefully, we've answered some of those questions and found you a few winners for Tabcorp Park, Melton on Saturday night.